Hi guys, and welcome back to another Dot Race video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21. Continuing on with our MotoE season, it's time for round 2 here in Le Mans for our E-qualifying session and then E-pole. So round 2 is here in Le Mans, one of my favourite tracks in the video game and in life in general. And of course this is the second round of our MotoE Championship, so if you haven't seen the first round I would advise for you to check that out first. That was in Jerez. And then you can pop over to check out the qualifying here in Le Mans for the MotoE session in round 2. So honestly, there is only going to be about 7 rounds for this one, so it's not going to be much to miss in the sense of content. So of course, if you have missed anything, you can always catch up with the playlists I have on my channel. But more importantly, we are doing Le Mans here today, and I honestly feel so confident here in Le Mans. I have never finished less than first place in career mode and in championship modes here in Le Mans. It's just a terrific track that suits me extremely well, and the AI doesn't seem to be too strong here in this French Grand Prix. So again, I'm pretty confident that we can get the job done here today, and I'm about to spoil Jerez, so give you a second and then you can leave if you want to leave. But we did take the victory last time out in Jerez in quite stunning fashion against Dominic Egerter and a couple of other riders. We were far down as 5th place in the end of the penultimate lap, so to fight back and win the Grand Prix against Tommy Egerter was truly fantastic. So we're up by 2,000th of a second going into the 3rd split, and now going into the 4th split. You better believe we're going to be somewhere near the top 3 positions, most definitely the provisional front row at the end of this practice session. So of course, if you're not aware of how the practice sessions work in MotoE, they don't have any sort of impact on the actual qualifying compared to the main categories of MotoGP and Moto2 and Moto3, of course. But getting across the line in a moment's time, we're going to get a good indication of where we're going to be, and we do take the top spot with a 1:42.797, just ahead of Fermin Aldeguer and Matteo Cassidai in the top 3 positions. So of course, it'll only really matter to develop a bit of rhythm and a bit of sort of understanding of the bike and this track, and to see how we can make sure we're getting the maximum amount of performance out of this Energica Ego machine when in E-pole session in just a couple of minutes time. So of course, if you aren't familiar with how I do things on this channel, I'll do the practice and the qualifying in one video at 4 PM right now, and then the next video, which will be the Grand Prix itself, the actual race, will be in 4 hours time, thus going to be at 8 PM tonight. So of course, stay tuned and stay ace, and also hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the upload for 8 PM tonight to watch the Grand Prix, because if the race is going to be anything like what Jerez was just a couple of days ago, in fact just yesterday actually, it's going to be super entertaining, and you mustn't miss it, because MotoE is fantastic. It really is. The only downfall, of course, is the sound of the Energica bikes, because they just don't really have that same amount of oomph and throat like the proper bikes do. But unfortunately, that is probably the biggest downfall. But the rest of the action is fantastic. You're talking 8, maybe 7, 9 lap sprint races in some of the best tracks in the world. I really do enjoy watching MotoE, and playing the MotoE machines here in MotoGP 21 is fantastic. It's a challenge unlike the other ones, but it's also extremely fair. It's a very good championship, and honestly guys, the first round was fantastic. I'm hoping the same is going to be here for the second round. So far, going into the second lap, we are going to decimate our lap time. It is now a 1:42.161 for Grant, right at the top of the picture, just like we finished in MotoGP 21 World Championship, of course, in the career mode. But going into the Dunlop chicane, we're going to go hard on the brakes now, chucking that left iron easy boot onto the tarmac as we chuck into the left for turn 3, and then for the right for turn 4. We'll give a bit of acceleration, get underneath the Dunlop bridge, and then begin to gradually bring on the brake for La Chapelle in just a moment's time. So on the right hand side we'll go, continuing on. Careful acceleration. I went a little bit too eager on the acceleration. That front tyre is a little bit warm on the right hand side. Now I mentioned last time out in Jerez about the tyres and considering using the soft option, because the mediums last all the way through the Grand Prix with pretty much no issue whatsoever. These tyres are absolutely fantastic, and I don't see them being a trouble here today in Le Mans either. We are using the soft front and soft rear, and we possibly, a little bit wide there on the exits for Garage Vert, but it looks like we're okay, or at least going into Garage Vert we're alright, in the sense of going a little bit too wide. But we now have the blue S's coming up after Shimano buff, so braking in a moment's time, just at the 100-metre mark on the left-hand side of the tyre. We'll go for turn 9, bring it onto the right-hand side, not cut the corner, I did manage to cut the corner just briefly, so unfortunately this lap won't count, but we'll still continue to finish the lap because, of course, just because the lap is invalidated doesn't mean we still can't get valuable information and valuable data from this particular lap. So going into the nice tight apex of turn 12, we'll have 2 more corners to navigate, and this lap will be complete, and we'll be moving on to the E-pole session in just a moment's time. So the right hand side for record, for the final. Oh my goodness, that caught me off guard. Wow, what a crash. Well, it didn't end how we wanted it to end, but Grant still leads at the top with Fermin Aldeguer and Matteo Cassadei in the top 3 positions. So now it is time for the E-pole session, and if you're not aware of what E-pole is, it is basically 1 lap with a track entirely to yourself to take the best possible position you can do. So we're going out first, and we have the ultimate job now of setting the best possible lap time we can. So going into Dunlop for the very first time of this E-pole session, we're going to 3 and then for 4. Lovely tight apex going into turn 4 there. I do feel like this MotoE machine is a joy to ride. If you haven't used them yet, I highly recommend you do so, because they are just so fun and very, very easy to handle. As we get a little bit of a slide there on La Chapelle, again using a little bit too much acceleration. You do have to have a very gentle right wrist to make sure you're not putting on too much throttle. But going into Musée for turn 7 for the final time of today's video, of course, we will have a wonderful chance here of getting into the top couple of positions, up by 0.3 of a second, just into the second split, and we're pretty strong going into the likes of Shimano Buff and the Blue S's after that one, and then even going into Recordamon, so this could truly be a stellar lap for the E-pole. And now, bear in mind, we did take the pole position last time out in Jerez, and that resulted in a victory. Are we going to be doing the same here today in today's videos? So of course, don't forget, 8 PM will be the Grand Prix tonight, but on the right hand side for turn 10, power setting 3 enabled. I did drop down the engine braking just to 4, and that seems to be having a nice balance right now with this Energica Ego bike. But we're going into the left-hander just after the S blurs. The Blue S's to you and I as we go into turn 12. We will have turn 13 and 14 for Recordamon to navigate, and this should be a perfect lap for E-pole. On the right hand side we'll go, bring on the acceleration, get across the line, the checker flag is out now, and we will see where we end up, and it is up by 0.8 of a second, a 1:41.802. What a terrific lap for your MotoGP World Champion and MotoE World Cup Championship leader. So guys, upon that note, I hope you enjoyed the video. Pretty successful video if I do say so myself. And I will see you tonight at Grand Prix time, and that is 8 PM for our Grand Prix tonight here in Le Mans. So thanks as always for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you later on for the Grand Prix. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more Dr. Ace content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single Dr. Ace video.